Welcome back to the Phase Zero YouTube channel. BD here with kind of like an emergency news update video. There's so much to talk about right now because Kevin Feige did some interviews with Variety and Entertainment Weekly, and there is a lot to discuss. We will talk about this in a lot more detail on Wednesday's episode of Phase Zero, the full podcast recording, which has special guest Juju Green, aka Straw Hat Goofy. Awesome dude. I'm excited to have him on the show, and the show just got even better because we have all of this news to discuss. So I'm going to round up the news here, kind of share it with you so you know what's going on, share why it's so important, why it's so big. So please subscribe to the Phase Zero channel. Don't miss this Wednesday's show. And we will have a bonus episode also talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in spoilers that will be available on Friday. So lots and lots of MCU to feast on right now. But first of all, we got to talk about the big headline right now, Spider-Man 4. It's officially confirmed by Kevin Feige himself. I know there's been a lot of talk about Spider-Man 4 from various people involved with these films for a while now, and it was always kind of obvious. Spider-Man No Way Home and the Spidey franchise has been a huge success. It would be silly to imagine Spider-Man 4 wasn't coming. But Kevin Feige just said they have a story for Spider-Man 4. The writers are about to put their pen down on the script, so they know where it's going. Tom Holland is coming back. Now we know it. Like it's kind of talked about by Kevin Feige, so you can take it for real. You can believe it's happening, and that's really exciting. And what also is exciting about this is that this seems to imply a new deal, a new agreement has been made between Marvel Studios and Sony, who owns the rights, the film rights to Spider-Man. As it stood at No Way Home, Sony owed Marvel Studios one more appearance of Spider-Man in a non-Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man 4 was not yet part of the deal, as far as Sony chair Tom Rothman told us at the red carpet at No Way Home. Now, they could have been keeping some deals, secret or not sharing stuff publicly yet, but this seems to imply that they're ready to say, we're making a Spider-Man 4, we got another deal, which means if the deal is the same, we're getting Spider-Man 4 and Spider-Man in another non-Spider-Man movie. So there's two Avengers movies on the way. It could be both of those because it's two total appearances that Sony owes Marvel Studios. Could be, I don't know if Disney Plus shows count. Daredevil Born Again is right around the corner. So there's a lot to think about there, a lot of exciting possibilities by the fact that Spider-Man 4 is coming. When will it come? I would probably guess between Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. I'd really like to check in with Spidey before Secret Wars and know what's going on instead of just picking up with that kid who everybody forgot about after everybody forgot about him, and then it's just in an Avengers movie where it won't have enough time to breathe. I'd really love to see Spider-Man in New York City doing his thing. Spider-Man 4 is on the way, and that's just one piece of many pieces of news here. Another thing, this is a big one to me at least, is they're going to revisit the pacing of release for Disney Plus shows. They're going to release them a bit more scarcely and let them become more of an event feel. As Kevin Feige put it, let's see what the quote was here. We want Marvel Studios and the MCU projects to really stand out and stand above. So people will see that as we get further into Phase 5 and 6. The pace at which we're putting out Disney Plus shows will change, and each will get their chance to shine. Overall, I think this is a great thing. I think 3 movies, sometimes 4 movies in the MCU, plus 3 shows or 4 shows in 1 year. It's fun to watch as a fan. It's a lot to take in. It's feeling like homework for a lot of people, and it really is. We went straight from WandaVision to Falcon Winter Soldier to Loki to What If to Hawkeye. How fast did I just say that it was hard to even keep up? Now, all those shows in 1 year, it's a lot. I think this is a smart move, and it's going to bring the event feel back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which for a lot of people, maybe not you, but for a lot of people has faded a bit. The Fantastic Four will be a pillar in the MCU. Let's read this quote. We sort of talked about mutants and the whole aspect to the Marvel world, but Fantastic Four is the foundation for everything that came after in the comics. There's certainly been versions of it on screen, but never inhabiting the storytelling of the MCU, and that's something that is really exciting for us. People will start to hear more about that soon. We plan on that being a big pillar of the MCU going forward, just the way they've been in comics for 50 or 60 years. Very exciting. I'm very exhausted by Fantastic Four casting discussions. I'm not even going to do that here. But hopefully the soon is actually soon, because I feel like this has been soon for a really long time. Deadpool 3. He said it's going to be rated R. This is surprising nobody. I'm pretty sure they've said this before. He said, that's our first R-rated film. To have Hugh come back is incredible. For me personally, that is where I started. I remember sitting behind the camera, well behind the camera, at his audition for the film, Hugh Jackman. It was his first on-set audition, and he flew up to Toronto to do a read with Anna Paquin for him and for me. And I think for all the fans of Marvel, it's unbelievable what has happened in those 23 years. It's very full circle having him come back in this new Deadpool film. This just makes me think Secret Wars is really going to be Kevin Feige Feige's big blowout. He's going to bring everybody who was a part of any of the Marvel movies he ever worked on into one film, and that makes me very excited. Deadpool 3 being rated R feels obvious. It's still, like, we needed that, so it makes sense. Captain America: The New World Order starts filming relatively soon. Who knows what that means? Probably in the next few months. And Thunderbolts is also lumped into that relatively soon start time. Interesting takeaway here. Harrison Ford is going to be the president of the United States as Thaddeus Ross in the Thunderbolts. So if the president becomes Red Hulk, that's going to be interesting. If the president is a Skrull, that's going to be interesting. Blade starts filming in about 10 weeks in Atlanta. So that sounds relatively soon. If those other two are further out than that, that's interesting. But Blade starts filming in 10 weeks in Atlanta, and maybe we'll finally get our first image of Marshalla Ali as Blade, since he was announced on that stage at Comic-Con and it's been so quiet. And finally, Moon Knight has a future in the MCU, according to Feige. That's no surprise. We expect all these characters who debuted on Disney Plus and in these movies in Phase 4 to come back and have roles in the MCU going forward. Moon Knight is among them, and I liked Moon Knight quite a bit, so that's good news, and I know Jim Viscardi is very, very happy. What of this news has you very, very excited? What of this news is disappointing, if any of it? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Join us on Wednesday's episode of Phase Zero. It's a big one. Like I said, we have Juju, Straw Hat Goofy. You might know him from TikTok. Millions and millions of followers over there. He's a good dude, and he's joining us to chop this up with us, and it's going to be a fun show. I just talked so fast for I don't know how many minutes, and I hope this all made sense to you, and you got the news. Thanks to Variety and Entertainment Weekly for doing some really good interviews, getting this information out there. You can go to comicbook.com/Marvel to get our full roundup of it all, and stay tuned for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, breakdowns, reviews, and more. I'm BD. I'll see you there. Please subscribe to the Phase Zero channel. Later.